Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. It is my pleasure, it is my honor, and to a degree, my responsibility to share these next few moments with you. I'm going to describe to you a concept, a possibility, a set of facts that I think has the possibility to change your life for the better. My name is Randy Schrader. And if I had my choice, we would now be face to face one with another. We would be having a conversation as opposed to me making a presentation. But I'm going to do my very best to personalize this as we go along. And if I can somehow effectively deliver the message that is in my mind and in my heart, we are going to do a lot of business together in the future years. Lev AI, that is the company, that is the business, the concept we're here to discuss, leveraging artificial intelligence. The future is in our hands through the delivery finally of accessible AI for the masses, AI that one can understand. As we go forward, I'd like to describe the fact that while we are, of course, in a new and early developing industry and technology, we are also part of a brand new company. And there's, of course, tremendous opportunity that goes along with being a part of a brand new company. Over the course of my career, I've sometimes been counseled to catch a wave. The person who was giving me that counsel didn't really understand business. One who catches a wave that somebody else created has a chance to generate income. One that creates the wave that others catch in the future, they have a very different set of possibilities. We have a unique opportunity because while we are at the absolute genesis, the beginning, before the company even formally goes live, that being a number of days away, we don't suffer the risks that are typically a part and parcel of that. Why? Because Lev AI is a part of the universe or portfolio of companies owned by a gentleman named Terry LaCour. We therefore operate under the safety net, under his shield, under his umbrella of operational effectiveness, financial ability, and legal capacities literally around the world. Welcome to Lev AI. And as I welcome you, I also welcome my son, Blake. Blake was only a few days ago introduced and announced as the president of Lev AI. That, of course, is a source of pride and joy for me. It's also a source of comfort and satisfaction. Reference the quality and structure of organization that we built for anyone who knows Blake. Blake is an attorney, graduated from Syracuse Law School, and of course passed the bar. Was worked at a litigating firm for a period of time, and then realized he wanted to be on the happy side of life, and he got involved in network marketing on the management side, being general counsel for a large successful organization called Monavit. That career included him moving to Israel, becoming the general manager of Monavit Israel, and then becoming the manager of all of Europe, Latin America, and most of the rest, and North America as well. Blake's next assignment and success was to become the CEO of Medical Marijuana Incorporated, where he was among those who guided an industry, who guided a process when non-psychoactive cannabis and even now psychoactive cannabis went from being a point of tremendous controversy to recognition that there are medicinal benefits and there are health benefits. And it went from being obscure to popularized, and in large measure that because of work Blake and his partners did. He became the CEO of a company, a network marketing company called Canaway, under the ownership of Medical Marijuana Incorporated. And Blake knows the business inside, outside, front side, and backwards. And what I promise you all you will get from Blake is you will feel respected. If you I'm confident that you will deserve trust and respect and you'll get it. And that every step of the way, you'll feel like you're part of the inner circle if your behaviors are consistent with that. Welcome to Lev AI. Welcome to you. Welcome to me. And welcome to my son as the president of the company. Our agenda this evening is as follows. We'll be brief and concise, but nevertheless conclusive in each of these areas as we describe that the fact artificial intelligence is the future. And I've come to understand that it's not just the future, it's the right now. You'll understand that as well. If you begin having conversations with people about it, you'll find that you're joining an ongoing conversation. People are talking about it, whether or not they're talking with you about it. We'll describe the LEV. That stands for leveraging artificial intelligence, and the mission and vision of the company. The leverage AI solution to the myriad problems that face this growing, developing technology and industry. We'll teach you the features and plans and give you the first snapshot of what the earnings possibilities are, whether one is utilizing this truly remarkable, I think, earth-shaking technology, and I believe you will too when you see it rolling its way out, whether one is using that technology to grow your business, whatever it is. And by the way, you are going to use AI. You are going to. Are you going to now or are you going to in the future? Will you be an early adopter or a late adopter? It is certain that you will use AI. One could have said many years ago, sitting around the table, full of 7 or 8 people, with almost none of them ever having hit a keystroke on a computer and didn't know how to insert a floppy disk. One could have said then, with a vision of the future, you're all going to use this technology. The question is, are you going to use it early or late? And are you going to benefit purely from the use of the technology? Or if there's in fact a royalty position available by guiding others to that use, do you want to do that as well? We'll show you the features and plans, illustrate the ways to earn, tell you how to claim your spot. I referenced a moment ago that more so than ever before in my life, I find that there is a stream, a flow of information, not even undertow, call it a surface flow of the entire population of the world chatting about AI. And it's not just people who are around water coolers, it's people in boardrooms. Here we see one of the most powerful and brilliant men in the world, Sundar Pichai, who is the CEO of Google. Here's his statement. AI is more profound than fire or electricity or anything we've done in the past. Man, what a big statement. AI is more profound than damming rivers for hydroelectric power and to prevent flooding and cause and create irrigation possibilities. AI is more powerful, more profound than having an intercoastal highway system. More profound than putting a man on the moon and a rocket on Mars. In other words, folks, look back over your shoulder. Whatever your greatest successes are, they can be dwarfed in the future, not exceeded, dwarfed. Why? Because AI is more profound than anything we've done before, giving us an opportunity to leverage our various capacities, capabilities, skills, and knowledge. From Misha Kaufman, the CEO of Fiverr, people using AI will displace those who are not. He's right. think back, think back to the days that again, the onset, the very beginning, first days. If you didn't learn how to use a computer, if you didn't learn how, is it or is it not true that you've in all likelihood been displaced by somebody else who did learn how? If, as the next major global required adoption, what was the required adoption to become operating in the online world? That's been required. It wasn't a choice. If you chose not to begin operating online, then guess what? The world literally moved past you and is now far too late to catch up. That's the truth. In the exact same way, people didn't really have a choice whether they would adopt computerization. It was thrust upon them. People didn't really have a choice whether they would adopt an online environment. It was, in fact, thrust upon them. And I want you to know that none of us have a choice of whether or not we adopt AI. It is being thrust upon us as we speak. We can either positively and properly leverage that, using it to our great advantage, or we can be victimized by it. Those are our two choices. And I choose to look at it in the very positive side. As opposed to thinking that people who do not use AI will be displaced, let it be that we become that first group of people who learn how to use it at its highest and best level and how we teach and to teach other people how to do the same such that they are not displaced. Let us sharpen our knife. I've been sharpening mine as fast as I can to catch up, to get into the flow of this incredible movement that is sweeping around the world. And it is occurring, it's sweeping. Whether or not you recognize it, you're going to find it out pretty soon. And it's not your choice, as it was not our choice to choose to become a computerized populace. That wasn't our choice. You didn't get to choose. You were forced because you're not going to go and live in a cave. You were forced to accept online possibilities and to benefit from it. And I promise you, we are all being forced to adopt AI. Don't misunderstand that. The question is, will that accrue to our tremendous benefit? Can we help other people likewise benefit? Or will we be victimized by our decision to not act affirmatively? From Dr. Peter DeWitt, AI offers a powerful means to assist leaders to de-implement low and no value practices. That word leader, it's a word that is overused, underappreciated. Leadership is scarce. To fully harvest the value of a leader, it is requisite that that leader not spend time or waste time, but only invest it. And here, Dr. DeWitt correctly, I find in my own experience, he correctly identified this fact that if we have human interconnectedness, then that grants it puts a multiplying value on our skill. If we connect with the next counterpart, that puts a multiplying value on our knowledge and on our character. And if we don't, we have the risk of being left behind. But AI should not be feared. When I said those things, we have the risk of being left behind. Well, AI should not be feared. It should be embraced. It should be harnessed, and it should be eagerly anticipated. Why? Because if you become among those who become a conduit to the use to become a conduit to other people's proper and profitable utilization of this emerging technology as a result of tremendously impacting them for good, the laws of the universe will conspire on your behalf and you'll benefit as well. 61% of professional marketers use AI already. That's going to go from 61% to 100%. I would say that 100% of professional marketers right now use computers, don't they? 100%. That's the same percentage that are going to use AI. 100% operate in the online world, don't they? Well, that's the same percent that are going to use AI. The question is, will they use it in a seamless, convenient, and inexpensive fashion that can benefit other people as well? And the answer can be, should be, and I hope is yes, because you join me in being a conduit to their introduction to Lev AI. 38% increase in sales productivity. People are going to look back at that one day and say, well, that was pathetic. If you learn how to use this properly, that should have a zero behind it, at least a 380% improvement in productivity. And we'll illustrate that. And 80% of entrepreneurs say AI gives them a competitive edge. Folks, that's 80% of those who are using it. In the United States of America, only 7% of all firms have adopted AI. They're all talking about it. They're all considering it. They all want to. They all know that they'll be required. They know it. It's not a question. It's just like the advent of computerization. It's just like going to an online world instead of an offline world. We are going to an artificial, without question, we are going to an artificial not information, an artificial technology, an artificial delivery of information that can never, ever, ever return. Once the genie's out of the bottle, it's not coming back. And so here we have Lev AI making it simple for entrepreneurs to launch, market, and grow businesses. That, of course, is music to my ears. Why? Because I'm an entrepreneur and I've spent my life growing businesses. And I now don't have to have an expensive CMO because of artificial intelligence. I don't need an agency. I don't need complicated tech skills. In fact, I can have a virtual twin that has all of that knowledge literally at my fingertips every second. And so can you. I am no longer limited by my own personal technical capabilities. That takes the lid off for so many people. Lev AI is the companion for all things you need in your business, made easy and better with AI. Once again, this is not something to fear. And we must all also recognize the absolute inevitability of its continuing to wash over the global population. This is not something that will be stopped. The genie is out of the bottle. And so let it be that we properly leverage artificial intelligence. Let it be that we are the conduit to other people's use of it to grow their business. Let it be that we're also the conduit to other entrepreneurs who would choose to deliver the product to other people for the purpose of earning royalties. I love this picture. I love it for a lot of reasons, but I like the vision. Youthful, energetic, happy. See, that's not about the number of years old that we are. It's not. We can be youthful, energetic, and happy when we're full of hope. And I believe that Lev AI's mission to empower the foundation of tomorrow's economy, building professional grade businesses with seamless AI powered tools, this can re-harvest the value of the entire life experience of people who are my generation and older. And folks, this is the first home-based business possibility I've seen in maybe 25 years. And by the way, one can look at this as a home-based business, or one cannot look at it that way. This is a business where one can recruit and enroll other members and earn royalties, or one can simply deliver the product to other people and operate more in an influence capacity. But the point is this is the first such mechanism I've seen in a couple of decades that hits the exact sweet spot of what a younger generation is talking about. Let it be that those of you who, like me, have been around, we've had some experience in life. Let's package that experience. Let's package it and deliver it to those more youthful people. Let's help them accomplish in 10 years what it took us 25 or 30. That can absolutely happen. The problems that Lev AI solves are myriad. As this industry has grown and developed, as the technology has improved, what has occurred has been a little bit of a piecemeal progress. This technology for CRM, this technology to build social media presences, this application to create a web, this application, on it goes. This becomes a very, very cost effective, highly advanced technology, but packaged and delivered in such a simple and inexpensive way that it can replace all of that fragmented marketing mess that so many people are living with. Tech intimidation and burnout need not be a part of one more conversation. This idea of poor lead generation and customer retention. Over the course of my career in the home-based business world, I have so frequently had people say, Randy, can you teach me how to enroll new members? Can you help me how to enroll more? Well, sure. So infrequently do I hear the question asked, and what can you do to help me keep the ones that I've got? Oh boy, I cannot wait for each of you to begin interacting and experiencing what it means to have your own personalized GPT, your own personalized virtual twin. I cannot wait for your team member, for your candidate, for your product user, for the person who engages in your business. I cannot wait for them to feel the personal interaction on a minute by minute basis. And the problems that are solved will almost eliminate or retention in the direct selling industry for those who learns how to properly leverage the tool. Over the course of my career, because my personality is such that it's not been hard for me to always have a candidate to talk to, I was derelict in my duty and never learned how to create lead generation strategies for people. Problem solved with Lev AI. And of course, for so many, there is simply no clear guide to grow their audience. Well, once again, problem solved. Lev AI makes building and maintaining a candidate or customer list far easier. I can describe that for you in just a second. If you become a user of this remarkable technology, one of the applications encompassed therein is a CRM, a contact or customer relationship management device. Unlike the CRM you currently pay for, this one, upon importing the candidates, importing your contact list, will do a social media scan. It will determine what are their hot buttons. It'll determine what's upcoming in their life. And it will then give you a prioritization of contact based upon their hot buttons in the moment in time. It will then even craft through your own personalized GPT, what is the initial text or email, what is the method of delivery, and it will guide you step by step through the process. And each time there is a comment, a like, it will tell you how to respond next. The creation of a large social media presence is one of the things to assure an ongoing candidate list of any kind. Welcome to Lev AI. Welcome to the legitimate possibility of never again having you or a member of your business staring at their phone and wondering who is the next person to contact and why. That's kind of a thing of the past as we introduce this technology. Creates confidence about what to say to each candidate or customer throughout the engagement process, removes barriers that cause you to feel stuck, and I love that one a couple of points down, removes the fear of failure. You want to know how to remove the fear of failure? Help people stop failing. That's it. And by guiding people through a proved and predictable pattern of activities that is empowered, enlivened, given a spark of life that they could not imagine as a result of your virtual twin, that will empower them to want to do likewise. You want to remove the fear of failure, help people stop failing. And that will then lead to consistent momentum. Whole bunch of things that the Levi solution addresses: social media presence and consistency, CRM, customer relationship management, instant ability to build AI built websites. Now, I'm not talking about here the replicated site you're all used to in a direct selling company. No, I'm talking about unique, individual, personality driven website creation. You can do it at the click of a couple of buttons with no added cost. I believe that as a result of the CRM, the ability to create websites, that this will have a net negative cost of acquisition for most people. What do you mean a net negative cost? I mean, you'll be able to discontinue using some services that cost money because it's all encompassed. I believe you'll have superior performance, superior technology at reduced price. And that, of course, is an offering that everyone would like to hear. Daily reminders and prompts on how to build your business and a monthly leads program. Let's talk about each of these things very quickly. Social media presence, get unstuck and stay consistent. It is a process, not an event, to build a large social media presence. Over the course of my career, I have been derelict. I've allowed it to simply occur as it occurs. And the result is that I have my 5,000 Facebook followers and 10,000 followers on my business page and 35,000, I think, LinkedIn contacts. It's really insignificant. A proper strategy should have resulted. I've lived a fairly prominent life. A proper strategy should have resulted in literally millions of social media contacts right now. I missed that. I missed that curve for the last 30 years. The good news is we all get a chance to catch up right now because, as I've indicated, the CRM will, in fact, each contact that you put into the CRM, it will scan their social media presence and will help you. It will guide you into the process to like at the right time, to comment on their post, to comment on their like, and it will help you grow a social media presence across all social media platforms. Again, a process, not an event, but 2 years, 3 years, 5 years from now, it's very, very easy to predict that you'll have a total different amount of influence because you have more people who are paying attention to your messaging. I remember the incredible fascination that I had when I was meeting with one of the developers early in my evaluation as to whether or not this was something that I wanted to do. And of course, all it took was for me to see with clarity what the truth is. And it was then very obvious that this, whether or not I wanted to do it, I had to. And I came to realize very quickly that I wanted to, and it gives me great joy today to have made that decision. But he said, Randy, would you like to build a website? I said, my gosh, I'd love to build a website, but my technical ability is limited to being able to turn on an iPhone. And he said, well, that's plenty of technical ability to build a website if you're using AI, if you're using the Lev AI solution. And he simply spun the terminal around to me and said, Randy, click on this app. And then click, 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 type, type, type. Less than 5 minutes later, I had a fully functional and published website on the World Wide Web. Now, if I had called a tech company and asked them to build it for me, it would have cost me at least $1,000. When I've referenced the fact that the net price of utilization of this technology may be less than zero, it's because I believe you can eliminate your current CRM that you might be spending $400 or $500 a month for. I don't believe that you'll need to have somebody else hosting websites for you and having web development costs for the vast majority of people with relatively simpler businesses. And I want you to know that you can build as complicated a system as you want yourself. You can attach shopping carts to it. Anything an IT firm can do in building a site, so can you. And you can do it at no added cost. The next thought for me is a critically important one. I was taught by one of the most gifted and skilled men ever in the network marketing industry. His name is Nathan Ricks. Nathan, unfortunately, passed away a couple of years ago, flying his own jet. But Nathan taught me some very important things. These are his words, not mine. He said, Randy, there's a proved and predictable pattern of activities. There's no luck and there's no guesswork. If we do A, we'll get B. And if we do C, we'll get D. And if we don't, we don't. I want you all to know that never in my life, never in my whole career, have I observed someone doing that. I've never observed anyone do all that is required to succeed, but do it poorly and not succeed. Never. I'll say it again. I've never seen a single person do all that was required to succeed, but do it poorly and therefore fail. What I've seen, unfortunately, is countless people not do that was required to succeed. This can result from a couple of things. It can result from the doubts and fears and insecurities that are not normal and natural when was transitioning from a reactive environment. Being an employee is a reactive experience. Our employer tells us where we'll work, when we'll work, with whom we'll work, and they pretty much guide the process. We have parameters. You get this many vacation days, and this is it. So we react to the demands of an employer. When a person transitions from employment and they become an entrepreneur, maybe at a halting startup point in the first place, they're doing it part time, maybe they dive all the way in. The transition from reactive to proactive is not easy. And having these daily nudges. If I did a new member orientation with you yesterday, and there were 4 simple assignments, now the nudge coming from my personalized GPT, from my virtual twin, the nudge coming to you, Randy, send this text. This is exactly the verbiage you need to send to make sure that your new member takes the action and completes those assignments. On your side, you're receiving the nudge from your personalized GPT. You had a new member orientation. Today, you're to do this. Have you done it yet? Here's the text. Send it to your sponsor, to your coach. I think that guiding people through a very, very simple process and literally having not a day go by in those first 30, 60, 90, 100 days where those prompts are being provided. Those prompts ultimately result in what? The development, the gathering of new knowledge, the development of new skills. Gather new knowledge, develop new skills. Then the only really remaining thing is for us to acknowledge and recognize that we can all get better. And we can use AI to figure out how to get better. What is it about me that would stand in the way of me being in more positive association with more people more of the time? And I can simply ask my personalized GPT, what percentage of a conversation should I be talking and what percentage should I be listening? What are the ways that I can cause somebody else to know that I really am sincere in my interest about them? Daily nudges, specific guidance on how to interact with each person. Help each one learn, grow, develop, and become as a result of the use of the technology. What an incredibly wonderful idea. I think over the course of my life, of the countless really, really fantastic people who have joined me. And they were frozen behind a wall of fear because of that insecurity of moving from employment to entrepreneurship. Or perhaps they had an ill founded lack of confidence in the method of distribution, the business model itself. I consider what tremendous value there would have been to have those people who could have gone on to be superstars, but they didn't do enough. See, Cicero said correctly, the skill to do comes from the doing. They were frozen in fear behind their insecurities about changing from employment to entrepreneurship, stopping being reactive and becoming proactive. Maybe the method of distribution itself caused them fear. They simply didn't take enough action. What if they had access to a group of leads who said, I want to know more? Is it not logical that it would be easier to follow up with someone who said, I want to know more? Of course it would. And that becomes a part also of the process. And we don't charge extra for those leads. You see, if a person were paying for a lead and it wasn't great, they could be resentful. But what if there was no added cost? It was just part of the subscription. Only good things could happen then. It's really good, folks. And yeah, in fact, there is more. Every plan includes your own AI twin. I'm not talking about a cartoony avatar. I'm talking about your virtual twin, where you are the subject of the cloning of that digital cloning. And if you were looking at yourself and the digital clone, you would be unable to ascertain which is you and which is the clone. If it's speaking in your native language, you still couldn't tell. But if you speak English and the clone starts speaking in Mandarin, that's when you'll know, oh, that one's the clone. Give it any script or ask your own personalized GPT to create it, and your AI twin can speak incredibly beautifully as a native speaker almost in 150 languages. It is, I'm not sure, but I believe that when the compensation plan is formally rolled out tomorrow, that we'll see that there are three packages, not two. I just indicated that tomorrow there's a very special introduction. Blake will introduce the compensation plan in its final form. Today, let's just talk right now about the basic and the pro packages. Your AI video twin, your likeness, your voice, speaking your script flawlessly in 150 plus languages. You can even use your AI to generate your script, a personalized GPT. Folks, last week, 700 million people in the world went to Chat GPT. You get a personalized GPT, and it will not be giving you the generic type of content. Ask Chat GPT about network marketing training concepts, and what you'll get is a bunch of generic information which does not specifically apply to your business, to your model, to your concept, to your compensation plan. High, much higher value in a personalized GPT. Business profiles, if you happen to have more than one message to deliver. You're a network marketing professional, you're using the concept to both create royalties for yourself and you're using it to help other people. You're using it because you have an insurance business, for example. You would need multiple profiles. AI powered social growth and engagement. We've talked about that. A CRM with screenshot import and AI powered profile enrichment so that you grow your candidate list, and instant web builders I've described, enhanced CRM with professional lead funnels linked to your site, over 2 billion searchable prospects. Unbelievable value, folks. It is my opinion, based on my analysis, that this will replace way more than $300 in disconnected and hard to use subscriptions. It's going to be much closer to that 800 than it is to 300. I have a goal and objective, and I'd like to help you share in that goal and objective. Let us break out of that small segment of the world that has embraced the network marketing industry. Let's get all the way to the gig economy. Let's positively impact those 70 million freelancers in the United States and 30 million non-employer businesses. I'm not going to have a detailed conversation about the comp plan this evening. Why? Because tomorrow Blake will roll it out. Tomorrow you'll get a PDF file. Tomorrow you'll get all the facts and figures. I will simply say that conceptually, there are some interesting differences to what you may have experienced before. The compensation plan is purely cash based. In other words, there is no dilution from the amount of money in to a PV, CV, or some smaller number that gets applied to commissions. What should a comp plan do? Provoke the correct behaviors. What's the first behavior? To enroll new members, a 50% acquisition bonus. Second, ongoing monthly commissions, those that you personally enroll, 20%. Now remember, 20% on Gen 1, but 20% of what? 20% of cash, not some diluted number. That's a big number. And then 8 levels in a simple unilevel, 8 levels, including dynamic compression and a check match that is unlike anything that you've seen before. Why? Because the check match is not limited to team commissions. When someone in your group produces a direct sales bonus, you'll get a matching commission. They earn a team commission, you get a matching commission. They earn a leadership bonus, you get a matching commission, and on it goes. When it comes to the unilevel payout itself, it's a block of volume, 8 generations deep, 20% on Gen 1, and then 7 generations of 4%. But remember, that is 4% of cash, not 4% of PV or CV. And then finally, we know that in a unilevel, there must be an ability to connect together a true leader with another level leader. It's going to go very, very quickly, going to go run very, very fast beneath those 8 or 9 levels. And so there's requirement to have an infinity payout, which of course it does, a 4% infinity payout beginning at the bottom of the unilevel and continuing until such time as it intersects the next real leader. I'm not going to go into further discussion of the comp plan this evening. And the reason that I'm not is because tomorrow Blake is going to describe it in its complete, absolute detail. Folks, if I could right now snap my fingers and cause you to know and understand what I know and understand about the direct selling business, you would then know that this is a magic moment and that this is a moment that has not before been paralleled in our lives. We did not have a chance when the entire world went from a handheld calculator to a desktop and then a laptop and then a handheld. We didn't have a chance to really participate in the economic change. We could use the product, but we didn't really have a chance to provide that idea to other people and earn royalties. When the entire world became connected through the World Wide Web, we benefited, all of us, from that connectivity, but we didn't have a chance to benefit from other people's choosing to use that technology. We didn't get a chance to participate in the movement from complete total obscurity to widespread, not just choice. People will have no choice. As we had no choice to embrace computers, we had no choice to embrace the World Wide Web. We also have no choice but to embrace AI. That's the truth. And since that's true, then let it be that we leverage it positively to the benefit of many people as we possibly can. Now, I'm going to turn off the recording for 1 second. There's a couple of more things that I want to share with you. I'll just say this one last. If you have not completed a temporary application, it's not temporary. If you've not completed the online pre-marketing app, please contact whomever invited you here and ask to receive it. Please, please, please. There is no cost associated with that right now. You'll get a chance over the next week to get a continued flow of information that I think will absolutely blow you away. And I want very much for you to be in the communications loop. If you're not yet part of the WhatsApp group, my telephone number is 813-990-7651. Send me a text and I will add you to the WhatsApp group. Folks, I wish so much that I could be face to face with you right now. I wish I could look you in the eye. I wish I could shake your hand. This is an important moment. We don't get many chances like this. An entire global phenomenon is occurring, and it's going to occur whether or not we do it. Let it be that that which is destined to occur occurs just a day sooner because of your interactions. That is a key. That can be a gateway to a changed financial outcome. I thank you all so much for being here. My time is available to you. I want to help you win. God bless you all. Have the best night yet, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.